right here called the Bloody Hair Brooch. And then, believe it or not, I think it's this one right here. Nope. Where are you? Gotta be next page. That's right. Alright. For the hair ribbon. Now, a lot of you guys will be like, are you telling me, Goose, that these 2 add-ons are better than the high-tier add-ons? Well, look at the Billy. The Tuning Guide and the Thompson Mix are better. Now, why are these 2 add-ons better? Alright. So when I'm playing the Spirit, I'm constantly thinking about one or two things. I'm thinking, how am I going to get throughout the map, and how am I going to keep pressure on multiple different survivors? Now, if you're looking at my build right now thinking, holy shit, that is a great build, and you're absolutely correct. This is called a safe Spirit build, in my opinion. You have Pop Goes the Weasel, which is going to allow you to regress generators in case you lose Ruin in the first 10 seconds. Ruin can last and win the game that way. You got, Barbecue and Chili for situational awareness. On top of that, you've got Make Your Choice. Now, if I'm going to tell you the truth, I would give this a solid 9 out of 10 for this build. I cannot see any way of enhancing it. A lot of people might be like, oh, get rid of Make Your Choice and put on Infectious Fry. This allows me to keep a massive amount of pressure on the person who does come in for the save. Now, the thing about my playstyle is I try and dish out as much punishment as possible by hitting multiple different targets. And I do get hurt a little bit in terms of doing that. Now, this final perk, this final add-on, I could change off for the fact that regeneration time would help me a lot, but the double activation time, nobody understands that how powerful this is. When I play Spirit, say there is, I look this direction, I actually husk this direction. Now, it takes about, what, 1.5, 2 seconds to activate your husking time. This is under a second, alright? So I will look in one direction, I will flick my camera, I will use my spin, I'll spin around, you won't even be able to see it because it'll just see a husk. So I'll look one direction, I'll spin, I'll husk for about 1.5 seconds, and I'll lunge around and I'll hit the guy with an M1. He'll throw the pallet down, I'll get pallet stunned, and then I'll rotate around, and then I'll do it again. This is all about quick snap. Now, what do I mean about quick snaps? Using your ability for a very tiny bit of time, getting the pallet, getting the hit, or you get one or the other. You get the pallet or you get the hit, and then moving on. Breaking the pallet, hitting the guy. He's at a really good jungle gym. He threw the shack pallet. Great, let's break it and let's keep the pressure on him. He's running to where there's 4 fucking pallets. Let's let him go, rotate over, and find ourselves a Dwight in the corner of the map doing a generator. Do you know what I mean? This right here, the activation speed is almost instant. It's like less than a second. It allows me to just be able to go, okay, he's going to go this direction now. So if you're at a jungle gym and there's a pallet here and you face your camera in this direction, you should be husking all the way around to the left-hand side. And 9 out of 10 times, you'll get the guy. Now, I'm not going to say I'm a Spirit expert, but my games speak for themselves in terms of how efficient I can be when I do play Spirit. I do struggle not to 4K with it. I don't actually use add-ons, believe it or not, but if I wanted to go really sweaty on a group that I think is going to, you know, bring 4 toolboxes and gen rush me and split pressure and, you know, steal team 6 or something on comms, that's what I'd invest in. Now, if we're going to go in terms of the build, the Spirit is one of the few killers in Dead by Daylight that do not need a pallet breaking kind of perk. Now, what is that? That is called something to speed up in the game in your favor. If you have a look right now at my build, I have something to slow down the game in my favor, something for situational awareness, something to regress generators, and something to clutch the game. No nothing. So I've used my utility perk for a double stack of something to slow down the game. I do not need situational awareness on a lot of other characters because I'm happy to do the rotation, but as a Spirit, I feel that it allows me to use my ability to go straight towards the survivor more often than not. The faster activation time allows me to go, okay, Barbecue and Chili is right there, let's beeline straight to him, let's use a lot of our power, and then we're coming into an opening field, let's unuse it, can't see him, he's got to be behind a tree, he would have left a scratch mark, he's still got to be hiding around, walk over there, you hear the grass ruffle, you turn your M1 him, and it happens so often rather than not. When you are using your Spirit ability, make sure when you come out of your husk, you're in a nice open area where you can see majority of the time. My biggest play is when I walk up to a window and I activate Husk, and then I just go around the window and I hit the guy. Rather, because the Spirit doesn't have a window stepping animation, I take advantage of that in terms of my pathing. I will look straight at the window, and I'll hold that. It has less than 1 second, around 1 second activation time, and I'll just come around the side and hit him. Now, I don't like giving out all my Spirit tips because I'm actually, like I said, I can be scary as Spirit. This is not the build that I would want to run, personally. I feel I have ascended above this kind of build. I'm going to show you guys something pretty disgusting, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, wow, Goose, that's what you want to run? Yes. So if we're going to look at our perks right now, there are 2 perks currently missing that I'd want to run. I do not need Ruin on Spirit. It's just like the Nurse. You just have so much power. If you know how to use it, you don't need this to slow down the game. Alright, I do run Pop Goes the Weasel to slow down the game because I do make mistakes. I'm not going to lie to you. We're going to go Devour Hope, and we're going to go Horn and Ground. Yes, that is my build. Now, you might be like, wow, you've got lethal throughout the wazoo, yes. Because I'm about efficiency, hook trades, and cycling, right? I've Devour Hope to get instant injures. I have Horn of Ground to get instant injures. I've got Make a Choice to get instant injures, and I've also got Pop Goes the Weasel. Now, I would rate this build about an 8.5 out of time. That's right, I rated it less than the last build that I did say I don't recommend. This suits my playstyle because it's high risk, high reward, and it generally works out. I still have Pop Goes the Weasel. That is my safety blanket. That is what allows me to hang on if I lose everything else by the skin of my teeth. Now, I won't have situational awareness from barbecue and chili, which won't matter because I've been playing for, what, like nearly 6,000 hours, I have a lot of map awareness and situational knowledge, being a killer main, of how to rotate and path. That's why barbecue and chili is my 4th favorite perk in the entire game, followed by enduring. So you can see it's not in the top. I know other streamers that would say barbecue and chili is the best perk in the game because it gives you situational awareness. Well, at the same time, a lot of people do jump in lockers. A lot of people hide from barbecue and chili. It's great, but it's not my kind of playstyle. Now, if we're going to step back, other things that could be incorporated, if you wanted to run this build and you were not as confident as I am in my ability, you could quite easily get rid of Horn of Ground and run barbecue and chili. I wouldn't recommend it. You can get rid of Pop Goes the Weasel and run barbecue and chili. I kind of recommend that, but you do need to make sure you have Make Your Choice. Make Your Choice is very important because what's going to happen is they're going to see you have Make Your Choice. They're going to go, okay, we're not going to hook save while he's around. You're going to get outside of 24 yards, and then they're going to pop your Devour Hope, and then somebody else is going to come in for the body block thinking you're dumb, and you're going to hit the person who doesn't actually have Make Your Choice on them, and you're going to down them in one hit, and then you're going to be able to blink or husk straight over and down another person in one hit. I find it works really well. You don't need the add-ons for it, you don't, but we were talking about my favorite add-ons in Spirit and why I run them. These are my favorite. You won't ever see me really use great add-ons on the Spirit, only because I don't think it's fair. I think she's so freaking strong, and all of her add-ons in the game do something useful. There are not many killers in Dead by Daylight that can say every single add-on is useful. So you've got this add-on here. This allows you to come out and have a massive amount of movement speed and go for an absolute crazy lunge when you come out of Husk. If you use this and a little bit of activation time, or there you go, considerably, you're literally going to be able to wait at a pallet, husk for 0.5 of a second, and lunge all the way around the pallet and hit him. Or if you want to be ambitious, you could go for 1 second and then come around the side and go for a crazy long lunge hit. It will work. A lot of people will tell you that is better than what the other thing I run. I like to rely on the other thing I run more than this because 2 reasons. A, it's cheaper running these 2, and B, it also works really well for my kind of playstyle. A good player is going to be able to counter this by pulling the pallet down on you. Some people say activation, your phasing is a really good one, slightly increase the passive phasing duration, so that means your body disappears for a period of time longer, and then it comes back. As you'll know, the spirit fades in and out. You've got the Father's Glasses, and you have the Mother's Daughter Ring. They're not really great. I mean, being able to track blood with silent husking can work well. But that being said, I don't know. If we're going to explore out into other options, if I were to trade one of these perks out in terms of for my build, even without add-ons, looking right here, I would probably take off, I'm not going to lie to you, I would take off Horn of Ground. If I chose to run this other perk, now this is a perk a lot of people use on their Spirit. They take advantage of the fact that she has a 24-meter heartbeat. Now, because they have a 24-meter heartbeat, if you run Monitor and Abuse, your heartbeat is now 16 meters. That's right. The littlest bit of a fade on the heartbeat is 16 meters. When you enter chase, it goes back up to 24 meters. So what this is going to allow you to do is allow you to get out of range and then walk back a bit and then activate your husk and then stop activating your husk to see David out in the open trying to find cover or trying to hide behind something because he's trying not to leave scratch marks because he's out of position. This is going to allow you to get really close. I do see a lot of spirits use Monitor and Abuse, but keep in mind, if you are outside of the spirit's heartbeat, you can hear the husking sound. If you're within the heartbeat, but distressing, for example, you won't be able to hear the husking cell. But if you're running distressing, bigger heartbeat, it's a bit of an ambitious kind of move you're going to be doing because you're only 110% movement speed. There are quite a few couple of ways you can play it. Honestly, though, I don't think she needs Monitor and Abuse. If you're going to want to run Monitor and Abuse on somebody and you want to take advantage of it, there are 2 killers I can recommend. I recommend Michael Myers with Monitor and Abuse due to the fact in Tier 2, he is the only killer in Dead by Daylight with a 16-meter heartbeat and 115% movement speed. You heard me. He has the equivalent of the Spirit's heartbeat with Monitor and Abuse. And then he can put on Monitor and Abuse. So his 16-meter heartbeat now becomes 8-meter heartbeat. Then he can put on the Dead Rabbit, minus 25%. Now that 8-meter heartbeat in Tier 2 becomes a 6-meter heartbeat. We're not here to talk about Michael Myers. I'll do that in another little video chat, but there are some options. The other person I'd choose to run it on is Legion, if I wanted to run a proper Legion build. Now, I'm pretty comfortable to say I've covered everything. Some people say run save the best for last on the Spirit. It'd allow you to hit and then activate your husk or move quicker. I tend to disagree with that. You could get away with Infectious Fright. There aren't too many other bold, amazing options on the table. You could go Distortance for the situational awareness rather than Barbecue and Chili for Pop Goes a Weasel. But if you're going to play it safe, Barbecue and Chili would be the better option on the table. A lot of people fall victim to running Ruin, like my standard build I did have at the start. You can go Agitation, but I do like Agitation generally more on the nurse than anyone else. But it just comes down to your playstyle. What do you want? What do you rather? What is going to better suit you and your playstyle throughout the entire game? Now, this for me right now is what I'm currently running. This allows me to keep map pressure, situational awareness, alongside with regression at all times, as well as something to clutch the game. This is, in my opinion, is near bulletproof build for the Spirit of all kind of tier levels. The only thing is if you were kind of new and you wanted to play Spirit and you did have the perks, I would say get rid of Pop Goes a Weasel, because you're not going to understand how to manage your time as effectively, and put on Sloppy Butcher. And now, because you're running Sloppy Butcher, I would also keep on Make Your Choice. Not many people are going to come for a hook save while they're hurt, and it's going to give you regression time in terms of them slowing down to find time to self-care. And I think that'll work out a lot better for you in the long run if you were inexperienced. Or even Modern Abuse to get a little bit closer, like I was saying. Some people use Surveillance on the Spirit. You can get away with a couple of things. I never recommend Whispers on a killer with under 115% movement speed, as I feel it is a waste of time. Right, guys, well, that, in my personal opinion, is the best way to build